the video game adaptation hype rankings. Now, the reason that we are doing this, one, Lauren was visiting the post-apocalypse this week and actually got to see a video game adaptation happening in real life, which is very cool. And two, there's just been so many of these. So we thought we would kind of go through and make a bit of a tier list of quite a pretty extensive tier list of most of the game to film, movie, TV adaptations that will be coming in the next, I want to say, couple of years, but with video game adaptations, you really never know. We're breaking these down, by the way, in the typical, internet tier system. We have the S tier, the A tier, the B tier, the C tier, the D tier, and the F tier, aka banished. Let's jettison this thing off into space and never think about it again. Okay. Arcane Season 2. How are we feeling? Lauren, you're excited. I know you are.
It's an instant S tier. I think this is one that we don't have to discuss.
Tom, are you in agreement?
100%. I think this is like the easiest guarantee that it's going to be it's just going to meet all expectations.
It's at least going to have a banger soundtrack. It will have an S tier soundtrack, and that's why I also think it's going to be S tier, because they just announced those artists, and it's going to be very good. Next up, I think this one will also be fairly easy. The Last of Us Season 2. A dangerous game, The Last of Us Season 2. It's following up on a incredibly beloved first season. I don't know if the first season could have gone any better. It was basically across the board much celebrated by people who'd played the games, and the thing I loved, people who had not. Very, very good. Last of Us Season 2, I think is going to be as good, if not better. They've given me no reason not to believe that. I'm going to say S tier, but I don't know if you two agree or disagree with that. Lauren, you've seen it.
Lived it.
I'm actually in it if you look really closely in the background. I was just behind the building there.
Lauren was whistling as she was walking down the set, hoping that they would hire her to be a star.
My footprint's in the ground. This is obviously banished, but yeah, no.
Oh no.
This is an S tier. We're all very excited about it. Not much discussion.
Yeah, I think it has to be. And I think because we are ranking these in terms of how excited we are. And in terms of this, I'm just really interested to see how they execute on this. Is it going to be similar to how the game is? Structure-wise, are they going to change up the thing? I think it might be a bit of a change. And I really liked Season 1 of The Last of Us. But I think if they do change things up, it'll make it even more exciting, to see how they kind of mess around with that story, because there's a lot you can play around with, particularly with that one.
Some of the best parts of The Last of Us Season 1 were the things that they took creative liberties with, right? I think to some of the mall stuff between Ellie and Riley, some of that wasn't in the game. A lot of it was, but there were little things here and there. The whole episode 3, the whole Bill and Frank, that has nothing to do with really the game at all. It's completely new and was amazing. So I hope it will ultimately tell the same story. We will hit the same beats, but I think structurally they can have some fun here, and I think they are feeling themselves a little bit coming off Season 1, going, we got the stuff. We can play around. We can take some liberties if we want to. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm not gonna be dumb. Okay, I'm not gonna put it in S tier, even though it might be in my heart an S tier. I think it's gonna be good. It looks great. Shadow the Hedgehog is there. I am willing to say B tier. That's as low as I'm willing to go.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. If we didn't do this show, I don't think I'd watch the movie.
Tom, you're breaking my heart.
I'm so sorry, but
not even for the ultimate life form. Keanu Reeves, he's there. He's gonna say, "Damn, it's gonna be cool."
I've been burned 3 times by this franchise. I don't know. I think.
Have you though? Did you hate Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that much?
I didn't hate it, but I just think it can be so much better. Sonic fans deserve more. I'll never say that about anything else, but they deserve better than this. These movies and these shows. It's crazy. Look, it's not banished. I don't even think it's a D tier. For me, I would put it in a C tier, but that's just where I'm coming from it.
Lauren, we know you love the Blue Blur. You're so excited you can't wait. Jim Carrey's back. He came out of retirement, Lauren. And he's gonna play 2 characters, both Dr. Robotnik and his grandfather. What more could you want?
Listen, if Shadow was not in this, I wouldn't be excited. But Shadow's in this, so I'm excited.
Yeah, he is.
It's going in B.
We did it. We won.
Sorry,
Lauren's
Tom.
a Sonic fan, guys.
I actually think this is genuinely looks like an exciting movie, and I'm going to see it. And sorry, Tom, so are you, because we're going to talk about it.
No,
Yeah.
I will see it. That's the thing, I will see
You're
it.
going to have to hear that orchestral version of Green Hill Zone in the theaters. You're going to goosebumps all over, and you're going to be like, why did I ever doubt this movie? Here we go. Best Picture 2024. It's coming.
What? This is one of the problems. Like, the movies so far have barely used any of the Sonic music, so it's
But
like...
did you
what
hear
are
the
they doing
trailer?
here?
The trailer uses... Oh, Tom, it's going to be so good. Minecraft movie. Just got a trailer for this one. Woof. I don't know where we want... I'm so... just like flummoxed by this thing. I have no idea if I'm excited to see it or not.
Part of me is like really curious, but part of me is almost like, this movie looks like it's an affront to God. It's just dreadful to look at, you know? I heard like someone was talking about just movies in general. I'm just gonna parrot what they said, but it's interesting that, you know, for a visual medium, a lot of movies these days have given up on the visuals. You know what I mean? Like, and I think this movie really falls into that category. I wouldn't be upset if we put it in Banished, if I'm honest, but let's see what you guys think.
I was also going to put it in Banished because
Sure.
I have zero increment of excitement for this. I was excited once. I feel like we talked about this last time, Tom, and we were both kind of optimistic because, again, it could have been something like the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
It may still be something like the Lego Movie. We haven't seen it, but all the signs are pointing to it not being like the Lego Movie. So
The Tomb Raider anime series coming very quick. Haley Atwell playing Tomb Raider, an inspired choice. I'm gonna say A. I'm very excited for this.
I'm excited for this too. I think I will watch it. I'd probably go like an A or a B, but because of what we're going to talk about next.
I'm more like putting it in a B tier. Just personally, I haven't found much connection in the anime adaptations of video game series. That's just me. I haven't seen too many of them, but only mainly because next we'll talk about the live action version, and I'm a little bit more excited for that.
Let's jump right into that one. We're putting the anime in B as much as I do want it in A, but I'm excited. I like the Castlevania anime and stuff like that. The Tomb Raider live action series, not starring Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but basically she's show running the whole thing. What are we thinking for this one? I'm also going A. I love a good treasure hunt. I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I'm in.
I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge's stuff. I love Fleabag a lot. I think as well what gave me a lot of faith in this. I know Prime Video's come up with some like pretty good stuff recently, but I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which Phoebe Waller-Bridge was initially attached to, like really gave me a lot of faith in like what Prime Video could do. Just in kind of like the globe-trotting nature of that show, I think was like really impressive to me. And I think if they can just apply that kind of thinking with this live action show, in terms of just the scope and the scale of it, that gets me like really excited and like the potential of what it could be. Paired with like Phoebe's like writing, I think it'll be really good. So I'd probably put this in A as well.
I'm in agreement. Like I kind of just teed up, but I'm just interested to see, you know, Phoebe Waller-Bridge like has had such a great history, particularly with female written roles like Killing Eve and Fleabag. Yes, and those things are obviously like incredible. They pushed the boundaries, and I know that she's also, you know, worked behind the scenes on James Bond and Indiana Jones and things like that. Particularly the Indiana Jones stint. I know she was starring in that. I think gives her like plenty of experience in this kind of area. Like Lara Croft's essentially like the female Indiana Jones. So I'm just really interested to see what she does with this character. Love Lara Croft, love Tomb Raider, and I'm excited to see more from her vision.
Okay, sitting in A. Next up, Fallout Season 2. We reviewed this show on the podcast just a few months ago. It's still one of the best shows I've seen this year. Really, really liked it. Thought it was a great adaptation. What do we think for Fallout Season 2? I would also, I think, put this in A.
Yeah, I think of the three of us, I was the most kind of down on the show. Like, I still liked it. I just didn't love it like everyone else did. But I'm still very excited about Season 2. I think, like, the more the show went on, the more I was kind of gripped by the story. And what they set up with, like, New Vegas and stuff. Spoilers, sorry, if you haven't seen the show. But it seems like it's going in a really cool direction. And I really like the characters. I think they're all really likable. Even though some of them are pretty horrible, especially the ghoul. He's just horrible to look at, but it's fine. So yeah, I'd probably go A.
I would go one higher. This is S tier for me. There's not many more things I'm excited about than Fallout Season 2. Particularly, I think I was taken by surprise by how much I liked the first season. They've set things up for a really, really exciting second season. If they can do more of the same with that, I think it's going to be great. It's kind of like The Last of Us. They have a really great foundation to build off.
I think I would go with you with there. I would put it as S as well. I said A, but the more I really liked season 1, and yeah, I think S works. Right now in S, only second seasons, nothing new. We like those proven quantities here. Next up, the Ghost of Tsushima movie, very interesting, has been in development basically since the game came out.
This is the thing. Is this thing happening? Who knows? I hope it does, because, I mean, playing through the game, I was reminded about how actually cinematic it is. You can play it in black and white and in Japanese, and I think there's a opportunity for it to be a really incredible Japanese samurai film, but there's just been so little movement. That being said, I'm gonna go A.
It's tough because, like, yeah, that is the question. Will this actually happen? I wonder if the kind of further around, like, Shogun, maybe we'll be like, oh, people are kind of interested in this kind of, you know, samurai stuff, for lack of a better term. And I think we are kind of missing, like, you know, a really good, like, samurai movie. It is just a question of if it's going to happen or not. So I probably, because of the kind of uncertainty around it, I would probably go, like, a B.
The last update about the movie was in June 2024, and it was that the studio was reportedly looking at Shogun's Hiroyuki Sanada to lead the movie.
Which would be awesome.
So it hasn't been really that long since, I mean, that was just a report, but there's been, when I talked to Chad Stahelski over a year ago, I asked them about it, and he said that things at that point were, like, moving, and they were moving fast, even though that was now 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think A.
That's Hollywood.
That is Hollywood. Okay, next up, the Super Mario Brothers movie. I know, Lauren, you are itching. You cannot wait. That what was in that egg at the end of the first one? Will we ever find out? I don't know. It is coming. We are getting it.
Do you want me to start so that you guys can go up? Because this is banished.
Vanished.
Oh my god.
Sorry, hot take, but I
Wow.
didn't think the first movie was very good at all. I know it made $1 trillion and all the kids loved it and whatever, but I actually thought it was a very, very poor adaptation.
You don't even want to know if they could improve upon themselves.
Because I don't think they will. I think that they have proven their formula and they will do more of the same.
If they just got rid of like 30% of the licensed music, it would have been so much better.
To be honest, I do agree. I don't think I have faith in Illumination to do better. Like, and the box office speaks for itself. They're gonna look at that and be like, who cares what critics thought? It made $1 billion. I did like the movie overall, but that was like a very kind of like, you know, it was because of the references, the music, the fact that Mario looks like Mario, not a horrible man. You know, like, I would probably go like a C tier, honestly.
It's funny because I'm gonna split the difference, and I think I'm at D, and I liked this first Super Mario movie. I just like, I liked it enough where it was like, it was like eating a feast of junk food, and it was like, yes, I got what I needed, and I never need to do that again. They did the thing, they got the star power, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm excited to see Yoshi, but I'm way more excited for Sonic 3 than I am for Mario Bros. 2. Next up,
Five Nights at Freddy's. That's where I wanna be. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Tom Drew, you are our FNAF expert. I know that you know all the lore about the chicken and the weird bear. Where are you at for this one?
I really don't know. I was like pretty lukewarm on the first movie. I think it was maybe slightly better than I thought it was gonna be, because like it had some things going for it, but it was also like such a weird like inversion of what the games are. The story's so stupid. It's so
It's
dumb.
Five Nights at Freddy's, though. It's literally about like a Chuck
There
E.
is no
Cheese.
story.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Were you expecting the Odyssey? Like,
I think there's too much story is what I'm trying to say. I think there needs to be like, it should be way more simple. It should just be these fucking animatronics are trying to kill people. Like, that's what it should be, and that's all it needs to be. So I probably, I don't know, throw it in D to
D?
be honest.
I quite liked it once I got over my expectations and understood what it was, because I was hoping, coming from Blumhouse, it was going to be a scary horror movie. Turns out it's actually more like a children's horror movie, which I should have expected. This is a children's horror game. The story is a little convoluted, I get that, but considering that there is so little to go off in terms of, there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of fan lore, but I actually think they did a pretty good job. So I'll go C, because that probably averages this all out.
Into C, the God of War series. What do we think? This, for me, has one of the highest ceilings and lowest floors possible, because it's going to come down ultimately to like how good they can get this thing to look. I think I might even put it in S tier. It's either S or A.
I think I'm more cautiously optimistic because, like you say, I mean, are we going to have Minecraft movie visuals or are we going to have like Fallout visuals? Like you say, there's a wide range there. But I think the inherent story, if they can tell that correctly out of God of War, is already, it's baked there for them. They don't have to do much to change it. And I think it's very promising. So I might go A.
I think I'd probably agree with A. Like I kind of said with the Tomb Raider live action, I think Prime Video has a good sense of like, yeah, just the scale and making sure things do look relatively good. Like The Boys looks good, Rings of Power, which I've not seen, like looks good. They spent $1 billion on it.
It looks really good.
They've got money.
Yeah, I'd hope that they would put the effort in.
It's sitting in A. Next up, Twisted Metal Season 2. I'm gonna plant my flag. I'm banishing this one. I am actively against the Twisted Metal endeavor.
Have you seen season 1?
I saw the first few episodes of season 1 and did not finish the rest of it. It just wasn't for me. But Knuckles, on the other hand, let me tell you what. Now that's a video
This is where
game.
your opinion has zero weight. I was pleasantly surprised by Twisted Metal, actually. My expectations weren't very high, having no experience with the video game, but I actually thought it was pretty good. I was going to put it in, like, B or C.
Well, it comes down to me. Yeah, like I have heard from certain people, Lauren included, that like it is alright, but I just don't think I'd ever watch it. Like there are things on my priority list of things to watch that I just put above Twisted Metal that I don't know. I just don't really care. So I'd probably go for a D to split the difference.
Next up, the Legend of Zelda movie from West Ball. Before seeing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I was maybe a little lower. I'm still very excited for it. After seeing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, this movie is at least going to look great, I think. I'm just going to say it right now and let the two of you figure it out. This is my most anticipated video game adaptation, full stop, out of anything coming. I cannot wait, especially after seeing the Apes movie, because I think that visually, and there are some plot beats in that movie that I was like, just do this exact sequence with Link, and it will be great. I'm a little cautious that Sony Pictures is involved, but I'm excited that Wes Ball is into it, because this is his dream. This is what he's always wanted to do, is make a Zelda movie, and he's going to do it.
Tom, as the resident Legend of Zelda superfan, where are you going?
On Tom. Chris Pratt's going to be Link. It's going to be great.
He could play like a Goron or something.
Casting's going to be a big part of this.
So this is the thing. I love Zelda. I love Zelda so much. But just for me, I feel like there's so much that could go wrong.
It's going to be so good.
Look, and in fairness, I haven't seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yet.
It was good. Not great, but it was good.
So I feel like he could do a decent job, but if this was an animated movie, it would be an S tier easily. Because I feel like there's less that can go wrong, basically. But there's just so much you have to nail if it is live action, like just how it looks. There's so many like crazy characters, different like races. Like if you have Zoras in the movie and Gorons, like you gotta make sure they look okay. I don't want to show up to the movie and Zoras are just humans, or Gorons are just big dudes. Like I don't want to see that. And I really hope that's not the direction they go. I'm sure that won't be the case, but I'm really worried about it. So I'd probably go a B or a C, to be honest. Just because of how cautious I am.
Tom, if as we were recording right now, they said Hunter Schafer's playing Princess Zelda, how high would that bump this up?
I think that casting's fine. I think it's good, but I think the more important casting is Link. Like I think you need to nail that casting. I think Zelda, it's easier to cast the role because she has spoken. It's so hard to cast for Link because he's not spoken other than the CDI games, which are terrible.
I'm going to hedge my bets here. I obviously don't have as much of a connection to Zelda as you two do. I think my excitement comes from intrigue of like, I'm really interested to see what they are doing with it. If it is like a Planet of the Apes approach with that kind of visual aesthetic and technology, I think we could be in for something really cool. but also could be the Minecraft movie. So let's.
Don't ever say that again.
Sorry, but we have to be careful in these times. The pendulum swings widely. So I think I'll go A just because I am quite like A or B. I mean, to maybe align with Tom. I need more to go off.
Okay. I'll put it in B because you two both said B.
What if we go into the movie and instead of like actual like characters, it's like the Minecraft movie where they take the pixels and then they make them like all furry and stuff.
Don't do
That's
this.
what that's what I don't
say
want.
that. Don't say that. Like, just don't put that into the universe. Next up, something coming very soon. Can't wait for the Concord episode. Secret Level, the Amazon Prime anthology series from the creators of Love, Death, and Robots. I cannot wait for Secret Level. Just a couple months. December, right? I might put this in S. I'm very, very excited.
I could go a couple different ways with this. I think it's interesting because obviously it's an anthology, so there's ones I'm going to be more excited for than others, just inherently because of the franchises involved. For me, it's interesting as well because like Love, Death, and Robots, that show, some of the episodes, some of the best animation I've ever seen. Like genuinely, some of them, oof. Some of them are like, let's be edgy just for the edgy's sake. And I don't want that to be what this is. I don't think it will be necessarily, but I could probably go like an A or a B.
Yeah, tough one because I'm with you. Like, Love, Death, and Robots varied a lot. Actually, like you say, the Concord episode, maybe that'll be the best episode of the season. Like, we don't know. So I'm interested by the idea, and I'm happy to put it in A just for that.
The Until Dawn movie. I can't believe that they're doing this, just because Until Dawn was so cinematic and was basically like playing a movie, and now it's just like it was making fun of those teenage horror films of yesteryear, and now it's just going to be one of them. Maybe they'll do the Megalopolis thing, you'll be able to interact with the screen and make choices. What do we think?
So I really love Until Dawn, and I won't spoil it if you haven't played the game, but the monster in it, I think is like really underutilized, and I think even if they just did that and didn't do any of the kind of like choose your own adventure, like changing butterfly effect, timeline, whatever, I still think it could be really good. So I'm actually pretty excited about it. Like whichever direction they take it, I'd probably go like an A for this.
I haven't played the games, as we know. I'm not into the horror games. I did play The Quarry, but with much assistance. I would like to play Until Dawn, but again, I'll need someone to like play with me with the lights on. Maybe I'll do that at some point. Horror movies, they vary a lot, but I think they're easy to make, they're cheap, that's probably why they're doing it, and I think it has a lot of potential. I'm just really interested in what kind of story method they go with pulling all these alternate strands together, so again, interested by the idea. I could probably go like B.
B was where I was thinking. I was trying to think of where I would go, and I think B would be. I'm not itching for it, but I'm interested. Death Stranding. I don't know what to think about this. I'm excited. Maybe this will be Kojima's directorial debut. That's all I could ever want. I think this is a C, even though I am like kind of interested, but it is to me just such a like nebulous thing at this point.
I'm in agreement. Again, haven't played the game, but from what I could tell, I don't know what kind of story it has, but might be very confusing.
Yeah, it's batshit.
I'm interested to see again how they do it, but I don't really feel too strongly about it.
A24 is involved, which
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think for me though, it would take a director like to get me excited about this. Like if Jordan Peele came out and was like, I'm doing this movie, I would be a lot more interested in it. But since we don't have a director attached, I'd probably go C as well. I just really don't know how they're gonna do it. And it's weird because like Death Stranding as a game, it's a walking simulator for the most part. So like the gameplay,
Delivering mail.
like yeah, you're just delivering stuff. So maybe you don't have to include all of that in the movie, but yeah, I wonder if it does work better as a game almost.
What if Alex Garland makes the Death Stranding movie?
That would be sick.
That would be
I love
awesome.
that.
Interesting.
Next up is BioShock, which has been in development forever. Coming out at Netflix, the last we heard was that it's still happening, but they are making it a significantly smaller scale story, and they are basically trimming down budgets at Netflix projects across the board. So that scares me a little bit because I think BioShock needs all of the money, Because if you're going to do this really well and really get that atmosphere and all that, you need to build a city underwater, essentially. I am excited, but I am very nervous, and I don't know where I'm going to put it.
I'm pretty excited. I think I was last time as well, although there's been very little movement since then. I believe Francis Lawrence is still attached to direct. He did the Hunger Games movies, which I love, obviously. So I'm pretty optimistic, and I love Bioshock World. Again, visuals are going to be very important, so that's concerning if production budget's coming down. But I think there's still a rich enough world to tell a really interesting story, even if it isn't super CGI heavy. I'm going A.
It's really tough because, yeah, that reduced budget thing, like, really makes me worried. Rapture is so important. Like, it is just, like, it's basically a character.
One of the main,
it's
one of the main characters.
It's like Gotham. It informs so much of the atmosphere and tone. I'm hopeful that it could be good. So maybe I'd go, like, B.
I would, yeah, A or B. I'm not sure. A, sure. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't think it's like S tier worthy.
Room for disappointment.
Yes. Assassin's Creed. I'm unaware of. Is it a movie? Is it a TV show?
I think this is the Netflix TV show, which we haven't seen much movement on since the
yes.
last time we talked about it again. And I think even then we've been very burned by the Assassin's Creed movie. Not to say that it can't be good. It's just that we just don't know. Which time period will this be in? Will they be using all the Abstergo storylines? Again, I feel kind of like average on it because of I love Assassin's Creed games, don't love what they've done with it on screen, so I might go C.
If it's a show, but it's also on Netflix, like who knows what the budget's going to be. One way that I think it would be really cool, like because there's also always the question of like what time period is going to be. I think it'd be really cool if it's like each episode, which is a different assassin and a different time period. They just jump around and like we got to find this thing in this time period and this thing in this one. And like the if they're going to do the Abstergo stuff and the Animus and like. I think that would be a cool angle of it, but I don't think they can do that. I don't think they can do that at all. So yeah, I'd probably go C or D.
I would also go C or D. So I think we should just put it in C because we all said C. Next and finally, Tom Holland's Uncharted. So Uncharted 2, it's still happening. I love Uncharted. I'm excited for more Uncharted movies because I am a mark. I will just consume anything Uncharted they will put in front of me. Do I think the Uncharted movie was any good? Not really, not at all. But it played the music and Nolan North was in it, so I left happy. As a diehard Uncharted fan, I'm probably putting this in C. I'll watch it. It's a fine... The first one was a fine enough movie. It wasn't good. It wasn't egregiously bad in my mind. I think the second one could be better, but I'm not like super duper vibrating over the idea of more.
I think we talked about this in one of our very first podcasts, did we not? And we all felt that like the promise of what the movie could be kind of really came together in the last 10 minutes. We're like, where was more of that? And so I think if they capture that feeling and turn that into Uncharted 2 and kind of stick more closely to the storyline of the games, that was another thing that was confusing. At the time, we hadn't played Uncharted, but now we have. And so I would like to see them explore that area. Could be good. I mean, I don't have very high hopes for it, but I would definitely see it if they're making one. So with that being said, yeah, maybe like a C. Probably a C. Tom
wants to banish Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Guys, you know how I feel about this movie. I do not like it. I just think it's. I just never want to watch it again. I like it. It's not even like the worst movie ever. I just thought it was like so unremarkable.
It's so like okay. It's like the best thing I can say about it.
I don't want to see another just okay movie. And like especially if Ruben Fleischer's coming back. I like Zombieland a lot that he did, but a lot of his other stuff, it's just not great. Like, and I just don't think I could put myself through that. I think as well because now that we've played the first 3, 2 is definitely my favorite of the 3 that we've played, and just seeing that kind of taken apart and like cobbled together into 2 hours, I just don't know if I want to see that. So if it up to me, it would be banished for sure.
It could go in D. Yeah. It could go in D. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. And that is our tier list. You can let us know what you think about this tier list over on social media. We'll put it up everywhere.